What is up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Tutorial Tuesdays, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how you can make $25 a day just playing trivia games. Now, many of you may have seen my last video that I made recently talking about 5 tips and tricks to win HQ trivia. Now, this video is sort of a supplemental video to that, kind of a part 2, so make sure you watch that video first so you can have success in the other trivia apps that I'm going to be talking about in today's video. Now, if you didn't watch the entire video, at least skim through it because you're gonna need all of those points to have success at the other apps, because here's a little secret. While I've won HQ, like, I think 3 or 4 times, I haven't won that much money from it because there are a million people playing on average, sometimes up to 2 million people. And so if you do win, you're probably not going to be making as much money as the other apps. Now, for those of you who don't know, the other apps actually have just about the same amount of money, sometimes more, as HQ, and have 50 times less players. So your expected outcome is about 50 times as much as it is on HQ, so you really should be playing these other apps. Now, what are these other apps? There's actually about 5 or 6 that I play very often and use to make the $25 a day that I do. Some days I've made up to about 50. Some days aren't as good. I probably only make about $5. But there's a lot more. I'm going to be ranking them from the best to worst, in my opinion, at least in terms of average payout, what you can expect to win. Now, my number 1 app that I like the most is Beat the Queue. Now, Beat the Queue is a part of Top Buzz, so you're going to need to download the Top Buzz app, which is sort of like a news website, but it's very like clickbaity, and it's a very annoying news site. You're probably going to be getting notifications from it, so probably just turn those off. Just remember when the game times are, or check it every day. But the thing is, there's about maybe up to 20,000 people who play, and HQ usually has over 1 million people playing. So it's about 50 times less people playing, so you're on average going to be getting 50 times the payout. And not only that, the payout is the lowest I think they go is $2,500 as of right now, and HQ is $2,500. And sometimes Beat the Queue has up to $5,000, sometimes it even goes higher. So I think the night ones, they have 5,000, and the day ones, they have 2,500. So right there, there's more money they're giving away than HQ, and like a 50th of the players. So you're expected a lot more money. And in my opinion, the questions are easier. So like the first 6 are sometimes like gimmies. So it's super easy to win this one compared to HQ, and you can use your extra life on the last question. So if you got the first 11 right and you still have an extra life, you're guaranteed a win. However, I believe that they auto take your extra lives, which is not as good as HQ. I believe they might not, but from what I remember, they take your life no matter what. So if you get the first one wrong, you're stuck using your extra life, which kind of sucks, unlike HQ, which lets you choose. Now, number 2 I found is QuizBiz, which is a part of the LiveMe or Cheese apps. Now, you have to download these apps, and LiveMe is like a streaming one. I don't like it. I don't use it. But it has QuizBiz on it, which I've made about the same amount of money as I have on Beat the Queue. Now, there's a lot of positives to this one as well. You can use up to 3 extra lives in a game. Now, you cannot auto-win, so if you make it to Q12, your lives don't matter, just like on HQ, but it's pretty easy to get there with your 3 extra lives. Now, I think the questions are a little bit harder, and they auto-take your lives, so even if you have a lot of lives, you know you can lose them real quick in the game. However, there is a few codes you can use to get extra lives. I'll put them in the description of the lives that you can use. Just like with the other ones, you can also use referral codes and get more lives, but they give away like 15 free lives. So you've got like 5 games at least, which you're guaranteed to get pretty far into. So the negatives of this one is it's pretty hard. I've lost a few times, like on question 8, even when I had 3 lives. So it can be really difficult to get far in this one. And also, there's a lot of winners. I find, because a lot of people have these extra lives. I think there's a lot of bots out there. So even though, yeah, the payout's huge, there's going to be a lot of winners. But you still can average usually at least $5 if you win. Sometimes up to like $50, sometimes 100. So it really just depends on how difficult the questions are, how many people are playing. The next best app I found is called Cash Show. Now, I think Cash Show is the second most popular trivia app behind HQ. So there's 100,000 people playing on average, and there's about $3,000 given away each one. Now, the thing is with this one, there's a lot of shows. They sometimes have like 5 of them a day. I think usually there's 3, which is more than everyone else, which usually has 2. Actually, QuizBiz might have 3 sometimes. I'm not really sure. But Cash Show has a lot of games. And a good thing about this one, which is also sort of a bad thing, is that you win money as early as question 6. So they have $3,000 total that they're giving away. But after question 6, it's like they're giving away something like $150. And then it keeps going up. So they give $150 to, like, let's say the 10,000 people that are still in. And so you might get a penny. Sometimes there's too many people to even give away a penny, so they roll it over to the next question. So problem with this is a lot of times, even if you win, you still only get like $1 or $2, which isn't great, but it's still money, and it's still better than HQ because it's more money and less people. And you have the best chance of winning money, period, because if you make it to Q6, or if you win Q6, you're going to be getting money, but usually it's only a penny or 2, and when you cash out, you have to cash out at $20, so that can take a pretty long time to get to that amount. You might even win 10 times before getting to $20. Cash Show also has extra lives that are applied automatically, only 1 per game, and I believe they use that on the last question, so if you make it to Q12, I think you get an auto win. And they also have a thing called wrong gones. Now, these eliminate one of the wrong answers, which is very helpful, makes it a 50-50 if you don't know. But one thing to note is when people use wrong gones for a question, it'll be the same one for everyone. So if you have 2 people playing and you're like, oh, let's use our wrong gones, and then we can find out what it is, only have 1 person use it because it's going to eliminate, let's say, the 3rd answer for both phones. So it's not going to give you a guaranteed answer no matter what. So if you're playing with multiple people, say, hey, 1 person use a wrong gone, no one else do it, and then they'll tell you which one it isn't. Now, the next 3 apps I've only won a little bit of money with. I don't play them that often. I'll generally stick to the other ones if they're at the same time as this one, but we'll sometimes play these for fun. They're called The Queue, Joyride, and Hang Time. Now, The Queue, that one was probably the first like spin-off of HQ, and they only give away usually, I think, $250. So it's only about the 10th of the prize of HQ, but there's usually maybe only 10,000-15,000 people, so 100th the player base of HQ. So I guess you're not guaranteed, but on average you'll get about 10 times as much money. But the people who play these are usually a little bit better than the casual HQ fan. So I've won it, I think, only once, and I only won like $3 from it. And I don't think you can cash out until like 10 or 20, so I haven't been able to cash out on it. Similar to all the other ones, 12 questions, and I think you may get 1 extra life per game. Not positive on that one, but I don't really like it too much, but I would recommend trying it. And then Joyride. Joyride, I think, is the newest of all of these. It's still sort of in the beta stage. They give away pretty good amounts of money, I think around $1,000 or $2,000. I haven't made it that far on this one. These also have keys, which are like extra lives. I've never really won this one, so I can't say much about it, but I would suggest trying it because I don't think the questions are too hard from what I have seen. So maybe you can get pretty far in this and maybe win some money from that too. Now, last is Hang Time. They don't show how many people are playing Hang Time, so you don't really know how many there are. It doesn't seem like there's too many. However, they have a different format. They have 10 questions instead of 12. And in this one, you collect points as you go. and then the top whatever people with point-wise split the $125. So it's usually, I'm not sure the payout, but it's probably around $5 to $10. Can't exactly say because I've never won this one, but I've been very close. I've gotten like 9 points or 8 points out of 10. But usually to win, you need 10 points. You need them all right, or maybe sometimes one wrong. So it's fun to play that one because you're not really sure where you're at in the leaderboard. You're like, maybe everyone will get this wrong and I'll win. But you can't really be sure how many people are playing. So I've never won this one either. So I can't tell you much about that. There's a couple other apps that I'll mention briefly. Genius is one, but that's been down for like a month. I've won that one once, but not enough to cash out. There's Swag IQ, which is a part of Swag Bucks, which is a different site, and you win money on there, and I think you can redeem it for stuff. From what I know, it's pretty good as well. I just haven't gotten around to playing it. And there's probably a lot more knockoff apps out there that I haven't heard of, but I would love to hear if you are playing one and you've had success on it. So let me know in the comments. So if you're playing all of these apps and you're using the tips that I talked about in the previous video, you should be making pretty decent money. Now, this won't be obviously a living unless you randomly win like a $20,000 prize. So don't like rely on this for income, but it is fun to play and you can win some money along the way. It's always fun when you win money, even if it's just a penny on the cash show. I still like enjoy getting that little rush of money. So that's about it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Good luck in your apps. Use my referral codes if you want. I'll leave them in the description for pretty much all the apps I play. I'd really appreciate if you could use them. It gives you an extra life, gives me an extra life. That's not the only reason for making these videos. I just want to share this with the world because I'm having fun doing it and I want other people to have fun doing it too. So if you could help me out, that'd be great. If not, you don't want to, or you can use another friend, that's fine too. But thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. Best of luck playing trivia. Peace.